so we can have a recording. There we go.
Okay.
Hey, welcome to our vision board party. Tonight, I'm glad you guys are all here. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy nights and lives to come and learn more and get excited about what you can do for the new year.
This is a half hour, right?
Yeah.
30 minutes.
We'll be quick.
So we're gonna be honoring the time that we have tonight by doing this. Just kind of a share. Again, it's a party. Really, I think the reason that we chose that word is just to kind of make it fun, right? Because for me, most of my life, goals have been kind of boring. Just to think about goals. Oh, you need to set goals. You got to set goals to be successful. But the value and the benefit of a vision board is that it makes it really fun because you get to see and you get to pick images that you want to put up on your wall that you can look at every day.
I feel like, we always hear that, oh, write your goals down, okay? I don't recall doing that as a kid. Maybe as a teenager a little bit. But
really? A teenager?
Okay, a little bit, but it was boring. Like, I was just like, okay, write a goal down. But had I known, okay, we can do this in picture form and make it more exciting and just really be able to envision what you want, yeah, I would have done it.
Let's show them what we did on this past week.
So,
but it's not just for adults.
I know. New Year's Eve, we did a vision board party and just let our kids have all these materials. Okay, and here's some of what they came up with. Okay, this is our daughter that's 6. It is backwards, but you can kind of tell. Put the year, heart.
She did this. Like I didn't do any of that.
She cut out pictures, pictures. Okay, one picture is of like the snow. She wrote serving others and helping. So just different things. She put, I guess, kayaking. Maybe she wants to go kayaking, like swimming in the lake. So anyway, that was our 6-year-old daughter.
This is our 10-year-old.
Yeah, there's our 10-year-old.
So he's got a picture of football goalposts here. He wants to get 3 A's in science. So these are just things that they created. We just gave them the materials and they created it. It's really fun.
So here's another thing that you can do is, I know it's backwards. It says excited. Okay, so pick a word for the year and write that word down and just have it on your mind daily. You can write it in your journal. Picking a word for the year is a really good one. So those are just the ones our kids did. Okay, so vision boards can be really simple. They're not just for adults. So if you have kids, start this with them. Give them a chance to be creative and to think of what they want to work on, because I can guarantee that they'll come up with something.
Now, hold on. Here's what's going to happen. As a parent, what could happen is you're going to say, well, it's not good enough, or it doesn't look the way it needs to look, or there's no rules with a vision board. There's no rules. It can be as imperfect as ever. The point is to get some goals on paper with some images because it impacts the way that your brain works. And we're going to cover just briefly a little bit about the science behind that tonight. But yeah, let your kids explore and appreciate whatever they put together, because it is awesome to see their creativity. She just asked if I would slide back. So she must think I'm like right up. Hey, how are you guys doing?
Okay, so I totally forgot. It's the new year, and I'm like, I need to have a drink. So we totally brought our bubbly. Okay, we're going to cheers to the new year. We're going to cheers to you.
Okay, our hands aren't really big. These bottles are actually small bottles. So
they are. They're the little bottles.
They're tiny ones.
Anyway.
So we're not giant people. It just looks like we are giants. But
so go grab your drink. We're going to get started.
I can't believe I agreed to do that.
I know. It's so fun. Oh my gosh. No. See, okay, I will tell you one thing is that if you have worked with other groups, other mentors, it might seem a little stiff. It might seem a little too business. This is life. Okay, we want you to know that you have a life, you have kids, you have families, all that stuff, and life isn't perfect. It's not meant to be. And so we want you to know what's real, because we get to work with you one-on-one, and we want to be real with you. So let's get started. We're going to share our screen with you so we can jump in. We have 4 kids, by the way, and our oldest is 13. And then, there we go. They got new games for Christmas, so they are wanting to play. But anyway, okay, let's jump on in. Okay, I don't know if you can see her. I think you can see her face on the side. Anyway.
I'll be right back.
Okay, he'll be right back. Okay, so tonight we're going to be talking about our vision boards. Awesome! Okay, basically, I think of a vision board as using that creative part of my mind to create whatever it is that I dream. So today I was reading something, and the author was explaining, when we have an idea, and I'm sure you've experienced this, when you have an idea and you start to go for a goal, and you start to think, okay, I want to make this happen. What's the first thing that pops into your mind? Usually, it's the thought of, oh no, you can't do this. It's a crazy idea, and maybe it is a crazy idea, okay? But it's crazy. We've never done this before. How is it going to be possible? And, one thing I want you to ask yourselves is, have I had any crazy ideas lately? Have I had any just nuts? I thought something and I thought, whoa, that was a little too much, okay? Tonight, I want you to give yourself permission to have crazy ideas just out there, okay? Don't limit yourself by the experiences that you've had thus far in life or by the circumstances that surround you. Be willing to be open to what could be, okay? And if your mind is coming up with something, give it the liberty to do so. So that's what a vision board is in its simplest form, okay? Toward the end, if you guys stay till the end, I've got some awesome stuff for you, okay? I've created this PDF that talks about how you can use your strengths, okay? Because everyone is different and you are unique and beautiful. How to use your strengths to succeed, okay? So we're going to be emailing that out to you as a thank you for being on. And we've got some good stuff planned. So let's move forward. Okay. So for the first thing, when we talk about mindset and about vision boards, for things to change, I must change. Okay, and I had to put up a picture. This was, this picture over here on the left was when our youngest daughter was born, so 6 years ago, and we were in a completely different spot than we are now. We didn't really think about the future very much. We were really dealing with what's coming right at that point. And I was a young mom, with 4 kids, and I just felt like I didn't have any life out of that. I didn't even know who I was. And so mindset wasn't on my mind at all. And doing a vision board, I wouldn't have even known what to put on there because I wasn't allowing myself to dream of what could be, okay? So fast forward 6 years later, here's our family. And I started to realize a couple of years ago that I needed to make a change, but I didn't know what it was. All I knew was that things needed to be different, okay? So insert us going to classes and going to trainings and really starting to dive deep into personal development. Now, my husband has been in counseling for over 12 years. He has his master's degree in social work, and so he is from that field, being able to work with clients one-on-one and train them about different things. And I've gone to lots of different trainings for mentoring. And so that's what our background comes from, okay, just so you get a little idea. But tonight we're going to talk about mindset and how we can make our vision boards work, because I know you guys want to make your vision board work. Okay, that's why you're on here. So type in the chat if you have done a vision board before, because I would love to hear it. Okay. So mindset makes all the difference, how we think about things. Okay, so just real quick. Now, I know that this slide has a lot of stuff onto it, so don't worry about writing everything down. Really, I want you to just know that successful people and unsuccessful people have different mindsets, okay? Successful people see abundance. They see solutions. So when they encounter a problem or a circumstance, they want to make it better. Okay, whereas unsuccessful people see scarcity. There's not enough of something. They criticize or tear down. So those are just some of the differences. We want you to be, hey, he's back. Yay. We want you to be successful people, okay? Because whatever you're putting time into is taking up life, okay? So whatever you are giving your time to, make it worth it. Make it worth it. Okay, I know we had some people type in the chat. I'm hoping that you guys said that you have done vision boards or that you're wanting to learn more. Let's just check it just for a sec. Okay, I haven't ever made one. Okay, you can this weekend. You can tonight. I have, but it's been a while. Okay, great. It's always good to update it and keep it as a current working thing. It's not just that you create it at the beginning of the year and then you don't touch it the whole year. We're going to teach you how to use it so that it's a living thing. It's always evolving because you're evolving. Love that. Okay, I don't know why it's writing. That's so awesome.
Fun moments here.
Oh, there we go. Okay. So if you want to make changes, you've got to know the tricks.
Now, when we talk about changes, what we're talking about is mindset, right? So what we believe is that the way that you think about life can determine what kind of results you're going to get. So a vision board is a wonderful trick that you can train your brain to get the results that you want out of life that will actually help you be successful, because guess what? You're taking things off your wall and off your board each time that you reach those. What happens when you take something off the wall, off your board? You got to put something else up. Your brain's gonna be like, there's something missing. You got to put something there. So to help with your mindset, a vision board is really important and helpful.
So with our vision
Well,
board,
let me cover. I want to cover this because this is something I really am passionate about. Because I didn't know how my brain worked. I didn't know that images and words that I could actually intentionally create better results in my life. What I learned in researching the brain is that the way for your brain to get more focused, to get increased in focus, is to repeat the same things as many times as you can. Repeat, 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 repeat. And so each time you look at your vision board and your goals, and also if you have writing underneath it, it increases the brain's focus on what you're going for, and it will actually look for opportunities to accomplish that. And so it helps. The second word there is focus. And when you look at your vision board, it's about an experience. You're not just going to walk by and go, that's nice. It's like people who think, I want to be more positive, they put up sticky notes everywhere. But that doesn't really, that's a nice like suggestion. But if you really want your brain to change the way it works, use your voice, have an experience. Like when you're looking at your vision board, read with your voice what you want. Even just talk about your picture. Think about it. Smell what it would smell like. Feel what it would feel like. Hear what it would hear like. What you would hear. That's the focus we're talking about when it comes to the brain. Have an experience. Repeat.
So
Repeat.
your brain connects with the things it sees, and that connection grows stronger the more often it sees it. So if you were to say it, that's kind of like level 1, right? We're saying our goals or we're writing it down. The second level would be to see it. Okay, we're trying to incorporate all of our senses, and especially our sight.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get to the nitty-gritty about how do we create the vision board. Okay, it's more than just putting pictures on a wall. Okay, so the first one is to find pictures of what you want to bring into your life. And let's not overcomplicate it. It can be as simple as I need to buy a new pair of shoes. Or, you know, my kid wants to sign up for basketball. We want to make that happen. It can be very simple, or it can be a little bit more complex.
Now, here's the thing about, like, if she put shoes on her board, okay, you think, well, who cares about a pair of shoes, right? One of the things that's really cool about a vision board and a way for you to create a great experience is to think about how it can benefit others. Okay, so if she puts on a nice pair of shoes, what kind of shoes would you put on? I mean, what are we looking at? Are we looking at like high heels?
Let's say
or
tennis
like
shoes.
Sneakers? Okay.
Let's say tennis. I'm a runner, so let's say tennis shoes.
So let's say sneakers, tennis shoes. She puts those up on her board. How many people are served when she gets that pair of shoes? Because she's going to be more active. So that means she's probably going to spend more time with the kids outdoors because she has a pair of shoes to go and run and play. So we got to look at our images that are on our wall as how is it going to benefit other people? And believe me, you can find ways that everything you put up there matters. Everything.
Who would want a new pair of shoes? I know our son does all the time. Okay, moving.
All the time. Every color.
Second, for your vision board, place the pictures or words on the board. Okay, and I use the board so that I can take down when I complete the picture, but you can also use the wall. Use some painter's tape it. Let's make it simple. In fact, we'll show you Aaron's.
You can see mine back there. It's just painter's tape.
I'll show you Aaron's a little bit better, but yeah, you can put up a square and put in your goals, okay? But pick something you can accomplish in the next 2 weeks. Now we're going to do this because you want to be able to show your brain and tell yourself, we can do this. Okay, so it doesn't have to be something super hard. Put something up there that you can accomplish and then be able to take it down and start that process.
And when she says process, it's the visual image of taking something off and then putting something up. It's that process that teaches your brain that things are getting done and I'm moving forward.
Definitely.
So
think of your goals. You can do 30 days, you can do 3, 6, 9 months, and then one far-reaching goal that you are just like, wow, that's crazy. Okay, so give yourself some options. You want to do 3?
Sure. I'm getting nudged and
I'm
lots
like,
of things going on here.
I
think I'm crowding her space. She's
Not at
sending me
all.
messages.
I'm like, here
You
go.
can add words. Okay, we talked about this just a little bit ago. It doesn't need to just be an image. You can clarify what it is about that image that you want. Okay, so like on mine, I have the image of like a pool, of people laying next to a pool in a nice location, and I've written underneath that 3 getaways with Veronica, just me and her, that I want to schedule and go to this year. That's my goal. So I write underneath it 3 getaways with Veronica. So when I look at it and I see those words, it helps my brain to focus on, okay, where are we going to go? Who do I know that maybe could tell us a great place that would be wonderful for a couple to have a retreat and just have a good time? So that's an example of putting words underneath that image. And the reason that matters is because it says here, left and right, right? The right side of your brain is about images and creativity, and your left side is about data and numbers and words. So you're using your whole brain to connect and focus on what it is that you want. And that's why it's really an amazing thing to have words with your picture.
Well, and also if you pick a word for the year, you can add that on it.
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea.
Okay, so here's one from my vision board. This was from last year. I'm not a runner. Okay, at least that's what I told myself for a lot of years. And my sister, 2 years ago, signed us both up for a half marathon. And literally, you guys, I had not ever run more than 3 miles, literally. Okay, and that was pushing it. And so she signed us up for Christmas. And of course, I was like, this is crazy. This is not possible. I've always told myself I'm not a runner. You see how that happens? The words that we use, that we say back to ourselves constantly. So I had always believed, oh, I'm not a runner. So we started training for this, and 6 months later, I ran my first half marathon. And after that, I thought, well, thank you. He was there. I really appreciate his support. But like, I finished it, and I was just like, wow, I'm not dead. I think that's probably the first thing I thought, is I crossed the finish line. But then I thought, well, maybe there's something more. Maybe I can do more than I really thought or ever gave myself credit. And I went on to finish training through the summer, and I ran my first full marathon. Stop it. He's nuts. So I went on to do that. Okay, but I had always thought I'm not a runner. I don't do that. You know, I never gave myself the chance to try. So I want you to give yourself the chance to try. Do something, like we said before, that's crazy. Okay, when you think of it in your mind, and your mind's going to say, whoa, we cannot do this because you've never done it before. Okay, that's just how it works. But you're going to reiterate to your mind, okay, this is what I'm working on every day. And that's how the vision board works. Okay.
I want to point out what I was saying earlier was about how does it benefit others. You guys, I was there when she crossed the finish line on her half marathon, and my kids were there with me. I know that they'll remember her coming across the finish line doing that. And that's a benefit to them because it inspires them knowing that their mom did something that was so hard. And then to see her do the full marathon was even sweeter. They may not fully comprehend it, but believe me, they know that that's a hard thing to do. So definitely it didn't just benefit her, but it benefited our whole family, because while she was training, she was getting stronger and she was getting more confident. And all that stuff impacts the whole family dynamic. Everybody's uplifted when you're upgrading your life, everyone around you, zoop, everybody.
Like
So
I get an upgrade, you get an upgrade. High five.
another cheesy thing.
I know, right?
I love her.
Okay, so here are some ones we have on our vision board right now. Okay, I would like to run another race this year. Okay, that's a personal goal, and we want to speak at more events. And we're doing a pretty big one that we haven't told anyone yet, that we're putting together a couples retreat.
Yeah, we feel like this is an area where we're really passionate about, because we've found so much, we've discovered so much in a relationship, you know, with the things that we've been working on, and we want to share some things that we're learning, like where we just were like totally clueless. Like we want to go out and share things that brought us pain and challenges and how to manage those and to keep moving forward. So that's
we just showed you some of these because we want you to know that we have stuff on it.
It can be anything.
Okay, so here's some of the nitty gritty of how do I make this work now?
Okay, so this is after you get your pictures up and you got your words on it. Okay, Aaron and Veronica, now what?
Okay, so I have my vision board right next to my bed. So every morning when I get up, that's one of the first things I see. And he has his in his office because he comes downstairs, he works from home, and he comes down and he looks at his.
I'm here, I'm in this room most of the day, so I can just look up at it all day.
So put it somewhere that you see it in the morning and you can look at it before you go to bed. And we'll talk about that in a second, okay? Just how evening is most important. So after you get it in a place that's good for you, you're going to slowly move from item to item, like really start to make it an experience.
We talked about this with focus, right?
Yep, the focus. Hear, smell, just kind of let your mind wander with how that would be, okay? And then you can express your purpose for each item and just really be connected to it. And think about what you will do when you have it and how you'll feel. And the more you look at it and add energy to it, and that's like the morning and night, we're really trying to remind ourselves of what we're working on. The more energy you put out into the world, that's what you want. Believe me, I know when I heard that the first time, I was like, that is weird. That is not going to work just because I look at this picture on the wall. Like, how is this going to work? What do you say to that?
Well, I say, because I didn't know how my brain worked. No, it didn't make sense at all. Over time, however, I began to see that there were people that would cross my path that I would talk to and find out, oh my gosh, they are my person that can connect me to this result that I want or accomplishing my goal. It's crazy. And it makes sense. It makes sense.
I think we have something about that later. Okay, so here's the one I use. It's just a board. And you guys, before I started doing vision boards, I had this in my home and I wasn't using it. And after I decided to do a vision board, I was like, oh, I have something. Okay, but it can be as easy as putting painter's tape on the wall, putting a square up, and then putting your stuff in there.
I try to do the cute little thing when I started.
It doesn't have to be cute.
And it didn't work for me. The painter's tape was just got it done, got some things up. And
it doesn't have to be cute, and it doesn't have to be perfect.
No, there's no perfect way.
Yes.
That is what I see as a coach and as a mentor, one of the biggest things is that people want it to be perfect. It does not need to be perfect. It needs to be imperfect and just up on the wall to increase your vision.
Okay, so the next thing is just keep evidence. When you take down those pictures off your vision board and you've accomplished something, keep that. I just have a binder that I put stuff in.
Too.
So I'll write down when I put that picture up on my vision board, and then I'll write down when I took it off, and then I'll write out like a paragraph or two about the experience, just so I can remind myself and remind my brain, look, I did that, and you've done it too. So try that out. Keep your evidence.
Yeah, and I mean, the brain is like a courtroom. It needs evidence to know why you would keep being uncomfortable and, walking around like, going for things that are unfamiliar and unpredictable. The brain likes predictability. It likes familiarity. It likes what's known. It likes comfort.
I think that's why people say change is hard. Like, we don't want to change.
The evidence of your accomplished goals teaches your mind that this is the life you want. Look at what I've accomplished, and I want to keep doing this. It's upgrading my life, and it's upgrading my family, and it's upgrading me at work. I want to keep this going. So the evidence is really critical.
I put these two pictures up. This was the beginning of last year in 2015 that I needed a new computer. And I put that up, and within a week, I had a call. I'm a professional photographer, and I had a week later after I put the computer up, I had a call to come do a job, and I was able to pay for the computer. And yeah, it was pretty cool. And actually it's the one I'm using right now. So that was awesome. And then also to teach a class on vision boards, and this was last year. So keep your evidence, it reminds you. Okay. And then Aaron said this before, is be open to how things will come to you, because it's not always something that we've done, but maybe it's you meet somebody that connects you to what you're looking to do, or yeah, it's just, they can come in all forms. Tell them about that picture.
Well,
just how you met the guy from the class that he signed up, and Jake.
Oh, well, that's kind of a long story.
Well,
okay. Well, I created this event at a library, and it was actually 2 hours away where I was going, because I was going to be up there for a different appointment. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll schedule something tonight. But I basically posted it the day before. I'm like, well, let's see what happens. And I was on my vision board. I want to mentor 5 people. I put that up, and I go up to this event, and I'm waiting. It's right when it's time to start. No one's there. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to give my presentation anyway, just to the air. And, I'm just going to give it anyway, just for practice. And as I'm about to begin, in walks this younger kid, mid-20s, and he sits down, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a person that actually showed up. And so he shows up, and then in the course of the training, he starts asking me questions about, like, what do I offer? What are my prices? And I'm like, are you kidding me? I had no clue that was going to happen. But I showed up, and I was thinking about it. I was focused. I wanted it, and it happened. And he did end up purchasing and participating, and I worked with him and had some great results. So it was a really neat experience.
So you just never know how things will come.
But the reason I was confused, because that picture is not me helping him.
No.
Like me and him in that picture.
No,
that's why I was a little like.
I know. Okay, let's jump out just for a second. Let's make sure if we have any, let's see, any comments in the chat. Let's see. Okay, volume is not that good. Okay, let's turn it up. Okay, let us know if that's better. Okay. I've never run more than 3 miles when I signed up for my first full marathon. Wow, see, so you did something you didn't know you could do. We
check this earlier if they can't hear it.
We do. There we go.
I think that's why I was leaning in, so be close to the microphone. So can you hear us now?
Okay. All right, let's see.
Is that better?
Yes, how long do you? Okay, we have a different question.
Oh, that's fine.
How long do you away? Let's see.
How long away do you put your goals? 5 year longer.
You could do 5 years.
There's no, what I've learned when it comes to vision boards is that 5 years is probably where people have found that that's the farthest you would go out. But again, remember, it's all you. Like, you get to decide. There's people who have suggested different ways to do it, but you get to decide. You're the one who makes the decision. If you're noticing it's not really working, then you may want to consider a different approach. But that's just some things that I've heard.
Well, so. And you're going to have smaller.
When we switch talking.
Okay. When you're going to have smaller goals that you're working on that are more, maybe within a month or something. But I think having a 5-year vision of where you want your life to go is a great thing. It may not be a vision board item. Maybe it's writing out where you want to be in 5 years. Absolutely, I would do that. And that's definitely something, maybe that's a little bit more difficult because it requires us to just kind of dream a little. We don't really know what's going to happen in 5 years. It's so far away, but allow yourself the ability to dream, to come up with something, even if it's crazy.
And I think you can also narrow down the 5-year goal to smaller steps. So you could say, here's my 5-year goal, but you could put up on your vision board something that's maybe 2 months out that has to do with that 5-year goal. So you can break it down that way too. That's just something
Do we have any other questions about vision boards of what we covered already? If you have a question, put it in the comments.
But again, you know, one of the biggest problems I see and hear as a mentor and a coach is people spend a lot of time trying to find the perfect pictures. That is just the one suggestion I would strongly urge you to put aside in this experience. Just get some things up on the wall, because when they're up there, you've got something to think about. And then once you take it off, your brain's going to start searching for the next thing. It's awesome how that happens. I put a speaker up on mine very first, a speaker. And okay, it's a speaker, you know, but man, it has been amazing to have for the family. It's been awesome to take music anywhere and just have fun and dance and be silly. But I had to put something else up after. So I started thinking a little bit more in depth. As I got healthier in my mind and my mind got more focused, my vision board items got more depth. And I started going for things that were more challenging. Because I'm like, if I can get a speaker, then I can probably create an event.
Here, I'll show you guys. You see that's the square we're talking about. That's Aaron's vision board. Okay, but it doesn't have to be that big. It can be smaller.
That one's actually a 3 foot by 3 foot square on my wall, so it doesn't need to be that big. I like it because that was just the suggestion that I got, and it works for me. So again,
it can be a little smaller. I have a smaller board, but you want to make it work for you. So, is anyone putting theirs together right now? I must have drawn that. That's odd.
That's fine.
If you are putting yours together right now, I want you to look at one of your pictures and just start to get crazy ideas with it. Like, let your mind flow. Like, what is it that you want to create? What is it that you want to have happen? Okay, no later. Yeah, put them together. Make a goal to, whenever you're going to put it together, make a goal to have it done by a certain time. Okay, because I can promise you that if you don't do it soon, you won't have it done, and it won't happen. Life happens, and we don't get to it.
You can even put up on your vision board, identify vision board goals. And I can promise you, your brain will start to tell you what things you could put on your wall.
Yeah.
Like, that's where you could start. What should I do? Well, ask your brain and then say, okay. And then when the moment comes, don't think that you're going to remember that vision board item. Write it down right then. Like, don't let it pass, because something will come up and you'll go, now what was it I was going to do? Right in that moment, write it down. Don't let your brain carry that burden all day of trying to remember that one little detail when you've got so many things on your mind. Just write it down real quick.
Totally forget. And
then you'll have something that you can cut out and get up on the wall, and it's written down. You don't need to think about it. So it's a great drawing.
Okay, so if we're moving forward, if we talked about our vision boards, you're right. Someone said that they want to get it done by Monday. That's awesome.
Awesome action.
Get it done, even if it's one thing, right? It doesn't have to be a ton of things. I usually have up, 4 or 5 things that I'm working on. Sometimes if it's something I really need to focus on, it's one. I'll put up one thing. Don't overcomplicate it. But if you want to really make changes and you want to do it quick, you got to get a mentor. We've experienced this. Yeah. We tried to do it ourselves and we were getting there, but it was just a little bit slower than we wanted to move.
If you guys notice on the wall, besides the vision board over here on that side, I've got actually some things here that I'm working on 90 days out. I hired a mentor to help me to stretch and grow, and I am finding some awesome value from that. Recently, I was asked by my mentor to go out in my nicest clothes and ask people for money. I was like, are you serious? I've never done that. I've never gone up to strangers and asked for money. I was terrified of this. So, but I knew I had to do it because I've invested lots of money to get support and stretching myself and growing. So I think it was the 22nd of December, a couple days before Christmas. I got showered, I got on nice clothes, and the whole time I'm thinking, I can't believe I'm going to do this. I get dressed, I go down to a grocery store about a mile away, And I'm sitting there in my van and I'm looking at all the people walk in and out of the store. And I'm just like, I can't believe I'm going to do this. And so, okay, here's my plan. I'm going to walk in, I'm going to walk over to this side of the parking lot, and I'm just going to make my way over asking people as I go, and then I'll come back to the van and then I'll head off. I get out of the van, I walk into the store as I planned, and then I walked out to go to the side of the parking lot. I saw someone and I just went right by, walked to the back of the parking lot and got in my car and I came home. So it didn't work. So then, but then later that night, because I knew I got to do this, I want to do this.
Why did he have to do it?
Later that night, I went back to a different grocery store. I don't know why I chose a grocery store. And I did it. I asked about, I want to say 40 to 50 people. I got $4.71. And I got some interesting looks. But what an experience. I wrote down in my journal 13 takeaways from that experience. One was that, hey, it's the Christmas season. People always talk about giving. I gave them an opportunity to give without any strings attached or knowing why they're giving, but just to give. I asked, do you have any change? And some gave me change without asking, what are you going to do with it? Where are you going to go with it? And that was an awesome thing to experience, because for me in my own life, when I give, do I give thinking I need to know what you're going to do with that money, or can I just give it freely? That was an amazing takeaway that I would have not seen unless I would have gone through that experience. So having a mentor is a great way to increase awareness on getting your life to the next level. So I don't know why that line is not leaving. It must have been one of our kids, or I think it was you, because you're controlling the computer.
I know.
Check out those comments real quick.
See the chat. The thought down on the board. I wouldn't write the thought down on the board. Maybe just write it on a piece of paper and then put up something for your board. So you don't have to, like, if you thought, oh, I want a new pair of shoes or whatever it is, you have to write that on your board.
Okay. I'm just saying on a piece of paper.
Yeah, just to remind yourself. So you don't
it's
forget.
a reminder.
Yeah.
Like putting your brain under that kind of burden to remember that, you're just going to get upset with yourself. You're just saving yourself that trouble of, oh, I wrote it down. I'm so smart. And then you just look at it and go, no, I just need to find a picture to match that.
And then Jill asked, when you refer to having a mentor, do you mean a counselor, a life coach? Similar to a life coach, Erin is also a counselor. Maybe you can explain the difference.
Well, a counselor is someone who, what I found in the 10 plus years of being a counselor is a lot of people come in that are like in really difficult circumstances with their situation. So most of the counseling is them expressing all of their challenges and their frustrations and their anger. And so it doesn't really get them to the next level, because remember, with the brain, it's about repetition and focus. Now, I'm not saying there's not value in counseling, because some people in life have experienced really tough circumstances and they need to express and try to figure out how to make meaning of all that. But a mentor is someone that's been there and done that, and then says, hey, here's the things that I did. I can save you time, money, and energy by sharing these suggestions. And then you trust that. Like when he asked me to go ask for money, he did that. And he said, here's the value I got from it. And he said, I think this would be really good for you to try. And then I trusted that. And then I went and tried it myself. And I learned more than 13 things, but I wrote down 13 things. So a mentor is someone that's been there, and then offers suggestions to try out. But it doesn't mean that you have to try those. It's really up to you. So
that was a great question. Thank you. But these are just a couple things that we've covered, that what a mentor does, and that we've worked with someone else as a mentor. So after tonight, after learning about vision boards, we hope that you will take action in whatever it is that you're working on. Okay. But if you're looking for a little bit more support, then our group mentoring starts on Monday. And actually, I'm so excited for it, because it's really a chance for us to get to work with you one-on-one and in the group, and to see what you're working on, and to see what's coming up that you're holding yourself back, and that you can totally hit those goals if we go after it.
Yeah.
So that starts Monday.
So here's what it involves. We're capping it at 10 because we're looking for 10 people. It's 8 weeks. We've got content all prepped and ready and ready to share. It'll include live video trainings. We're going to cover different topics every week. And then as part of the 8 weeks, every other week, there's an individual call with either me or Veronica. And one of the things that I've noticed as a mentor and as a counselor too is people don't really know who to go to or where to go. And if you think about going to a counselor, it's like by the time that I call, I get an appointment scheduled. It's like 6 weeks out, and then I got to take work off, and then I got to arrange my kids' schedules. It's a hassle. It's a big reason why people don't go seek out support like that. But this is really convenient, you guys. We're right here. We've got it set up. You've had an experience with us tonight. We're going to give you everything we got because we care. We have benefited from having a mentor ourselves. We've been in groups before where we've got training and we've been able to ask questions and worked on stuff. And a lot of times in life, we just don't know what the next step is. It's nice to have someone say, here's what you can do next. So we offer this for $297. It's 8 weeks plus 4 calls. And we're calling it Breakthrough.
We call it Breakthrough because we all have walls that we're trying to break through to get to the other side. Whether that's in your business, whether that's with your family and personal life, there is always something there that we can work on and it can be better. So we want to break through those walls. So $297 for our 8 weeks, and we're starting on Monday. And like Aaron said, we're only working with 10 people because we really want to give you one-on-one time with us.
Now, one thing that I know is I'm always looking at what is the cost. Now, what I've done with having a mentor and being in group mentoring myself is I now can look at it as what's my investment. Okay, so you invest $297. Here's what you get in return. You get 4 one-on-one calls. You get 8 weekly live trainings, weekly worksheets that you can have access to. We'll do a business week webinar, something like that. Plus, I've also got an audio recording that you can download and have access to about having a mentality to succeed. The total value you're getting is over $1,000.
One of the things we really wanted to do was make sure that we had those one-on-one calls because we've done groups before and participated in other ones. And all it was the group stuff. We didn't get a chance to talk about what we were working on individually. So that was really important to us to be able to talk with you one-on-one because that's where I feel like the magic happens. It really does.
I think so too.
And we threw in the bonus business week because we know a lot of you have businesses you're running and you're entrepreneurs that we're going to cover things like social media and marketing and going live and doing videos, all of that
time
stuff.
Management.
Facebook.
And we're going to talk about money.
Yes.
These are all topics that as an entrepreneur can really help you to be successful and get some things figured out, get you on your way. We believe 100%.
Over $1,000 for $297. Now, here are some other topics
we're
going to cover. We're doing money, order, relationships, all these kinds of things. Vision boards, we're going to cover more in depth and really be able to look at yours one-on-one. Okay, but these are just some of the topics that we're going to cover. Okay. So, what are you going to create from the group? Well, the people that have already gone through our group have been able to plan out and hit the goals that they want to accomplish. And they've been able to put together their vision board and put together a better sense of where they were going. And that's really good to know because if you don't know where you're going, you have no idea how to get there. You have no idea. You're just stuck where you are. And we don't want to be there.
And like tonight we talked about vision boards. Well, in a group, we go more in depth on vision boards because we have more time. And we have a more intimate experience because we've got 10 people that are committed and, we're in that experience with them. For example, we share 7 tips on a vision board. Like one of those tips that I think you guys are ready for is that what has been discovered is that there's a hot spot on your vision board and it's going to vary from person to person. I actually haven't discovered where my hot spot is yet. But I've heard about this and I'm really looking to see where mine is located. So that's where I want to put like, this is the one I really want. I can give you one more. Another one is anywhere from 9 to 16 items is where you want to be with your vision board. 9 to 16. Okay, any more than that, I mean, you can go less, but generally about 9 to 16 range is where people have found to be working on just kind of different things. And like she said earlier, if you want to put one up, put one up. I'm just telling you what generally people have discovered and the success they've had are in between those numbers. So those are just two things. We share more in depth on vision boards in that group.
Okay, so I think you're going to ask yourself, is this for you? Because we don't get to
we think it is. We think it is for you, and we care. Like, we're going to give you everything we got.
So ask yourself, I feel stuck. Do I want to get to a different place? Are you looking to increase your business or earn more money, feel more valued with what you do? Are you struggling with relationships? Okay, these are just some basic questions, but is this for you? Because not everyone's going to opt in and say, yeah, I'm willing to put in the work and the effort and the energy because I want something different. Okay, but are you ready for the crazy? Like, are you ready to go there with what you want? That's what you need. Okay, so the time is now to invest in you. This is your year.
We really want to focus on investing, because when it comes to your mindset, if you're looking at the cost, you're only going to be seeing what you're losing. But when you say, I want to invest in my personal development, you're looking at what's the value I'm going to get in return. And the third level, okay, first level, what does it cost? Second level, what am I going to get in return? And then third level is, how can it benefit other people? When you feel great and you're reaching goals and your energy's going up, how much benefit are you giving to people around you? It's amazing how much more valuable you become to everyone else. You feel great, you look great, and life has purpose and it has meaning and it matters. And people notice, and they want to be around people like that. They want it. So it is time to invest in you and see those returns, and then how it benefits others. And
this is your year. This is your year. Tell yourself that.
New year. Yeah.
It is.
Resolutions work. I've heard that resolutions don't work. They work. They work. Let's start saying it like it works. Even if we're faking it, let's say it. Let's at least say it.
So tonight we thought, you know what? We are coming off Christmas and we've had such good vibes and being able to give and have a good time, that we also want to extend that Christmas feel of being able to give. And we want to appreciate that you were on with us tonight.
Definitely.
So through tomorrow, the price is $197. And we don't do this because we don't think it's worth $297. We know it is. But we also know that we want you to opt in. Put down all the excuses and be ready to take on this year, because we're ready right there alongside with you. So till tomorrow night, we're going to be sending you that link to sign up, but we only have 10 spots. I know we want to work with so many more people, but 10 is where we've got to be for us to give you one-on-one time.
Actually, Veronica said today, well, what if there's 1 in 10? I said, I would love to have that problem.
I know, upper level problems, but we really want to give you time and attention, and that's why we have it. So
I'll drink to that.
I will drink to that. We hope you will too.
I'm cheesy now.
And I needed a drink, so yes. Okay, so let me jump out. Let's see if we have any questions.
Oh, we got you.
Awesome. Let me jump in there. Okay, so let's back up just a little bit.
Yes,
awesome. Brandy, you put the red line on my page. No, I'm joking. You totally didn't. I don't know what it was. So it's all good. Okay, breakthrough. Okay, Larissa, you said breakthrough was your word for 2017. That's awesome. See, I want to hear some of your experiences about that, because I feel like when we choose a word, we can go for it and it comes up throughout the year. Do you want to read the next one?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one. There we go.
What is it? Larissa saying you hired a mentor, a ministry. Yeah. Spiritual aspects of our health, definitely something that people are interested in.
Yeah.
We are so distracted by things that are happening in our lives, and we forget that there's something bigger happening here. Higher power, the mountain, whatever you believe in, it matters to tap into your spirituality. It really gives you some awesome energy. So that's really cool. There is.
She said mentors are a key component moving forward. We totally believe that.
Yeah.
Because we've
invested ourselves.
Yeah, I know.
And the return's I can't believe how much I smile these days. Like, seriously, we've been married 15 years. I would say the last 2 years, we've really discovered each other in such a quality way.
It's been
You
better.
guys, I'm a guy. Okay, I don't see any other guys on
He
here.
asked, he's like,
Okay.
how many guys do you think we got? I'm like, 0.
And you know what?
I
I'm like, you know
don't
what? I got to go out there and start getting guys involved. Like, you guys may have husbands or partners where you're like, yeah, let's get them going. I've been trying to get them going for a while. Veronica did the same thing to me, and here I am, and I'm happy to be here, and I love it.
You know what?
This is it.
Well, this is it. But we appreciate that you guys, you're the leaders. You're the ones paving the way for other people around you. Don't back down. Keep going with
Yeah, we
what
need
you
you
have.
strong. We need
Yep.
you strong up here. And vision boards
Yeah.
can definitely increase your capacity and your value, and really just, oh, I know where I'm going, and I know what I want. And then it's like, I want these people to hear my message because it's going to help them feel better.
Let's see. Make sure we have
All right.
questions. If you have any other questions, put them in there.
We'll be
We're gonna
around.
We'll be sending you the replay and the link for our group, and grab your spot because this is your year. This is the time. Go crazy. Let's put it all out there.
Oh, and hey, it's an even year, not an odd year. So that's even better. It's 2018. I just thought of
What?
that.
I didn't think about that.
Well, it's an even year, so let's take
Okay.
advantage of that and let's go for it.
Go for it.
Thanks for being
Okay.
on tonight, you guys. Really appreciate your interaction and being here and listening. It's been a pleasure to serve. And thank you for your service and what you do. You guys, you make such a huge difference in the lives of the people that you know. And we just want to acknowledge that because you're like us. We don't attract people that aren't like us. We attract people to us that care like we care. So we know who you are and we know what you stand for, and we value that with all of our hearts. So thank you for being with us.
Thank you guys. Have a fun night.